This is the Devonport Bluff on the central northwest coast of Tasmania. And I used to come here when I was a kid, and believe it or not, I would actually go surfing in that water just there. It is really, really flat today, there's no surf. But because we're down here, it reminded me of being a kid, and one of the things I loved when I was a kid was licorice fountains. Remember, you used to get little licorice fountains, you have a little stick of licorice and you dip it in some sherbet. I'm going to create the sherbet that went in the licorice fountain, or my version of the sherbet that went in the licorice fountain. Sherbet's fun for a few reasons, but the ingredients that go in there all provide a different thing, and we'll talk about them as we add them. But the first thing we're going to do is add some freeze-dried strawberries. Now you can get any freeze-dried fruit that you want to flavour your sherbet. I've got strawberries, so I'm going to pop them in. And this recipe is absolutely a guide. It's one of those taste and see sort of recipes. So they go in, I'm going to crush them up. If you don't have a pestle and mortar, if you're at home and you've got a really good food processor, then that will do the trick. But when you're out and about like I am, power is hard to get hold of. So a pestle and mortar does the job just as well. Just takes a little bit more elbow grease. But you can see that's turned into a powder really, really quickly because there's no moisture in there because it's freeze dried, and you end up with this really fine dust, which on its own is great as a little additive to any sort of dessert. But that's going to be the flavour. So we're going to make strawberry sherbet. So that is our flavour component. Then we're going to add something called citric acid. This is crystallized sourness that comes out of citrus fruit. It's going to add that in. You can use tartic acid as well if you want. And we'll grind that up and mix it into the strawberry flavouring. So that's the sourness component. That when you eat sherbet, you get that little tingle. That's where that comes from the citric acid. Okay, that's all in. Bicarb soda, which everyone knows bicarb soda, but the thing bicarb soda does is it reacts with moisture. So when it comes in contact with moisture, it expands, which is what gives it the little foam in your mouth. And why you put it in things when you're baking is because when you add it again to moisture in baking, it expands and it raises your cake, or it acts as a raising agent in what you're cooking. And the last thing is our sweetness, which we get from icing sugar. Icing sugar goes in. Then you've got all the flavour components that you get in sherbet. So you've got the flavour itself, which comes from the strawberry, the sour tingle, like you get in fruit tingles, which comes from the citric acid, the foaming component from the bicarb, and then our sweetness. So that's it. Now this can go into an airtight container like we've got here, and it'll keep for about 2 weeks. And I would suggest getting some licorice and dunking licorice in it to eat it. That reminds me so much of being a kid. Please try all the recipes that we do, but try this one. It will remind you of growing up and eating sherbet bombs or having sherbet fountains or buying Whiz Fizz, and you can flavour your own and make it at home. Oh, it's a ripper.